Familiarization tour, starting with the Mbare studios all the way to Pocket Studios. We've had an opportunity to empirically have a look at how, with respect to how radio stations operate, the state of affairs in each and every studio, the ongoing recapitalization efforts, the challenges, the human resources issues. As you can see that I'm with my the Workers' Committee Chairman, also in a position to communicate with respect to human resources issues that are affecting the employees across Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation studios. Also had an opportunity to interact with the producers, the presenters, and the engineers as well. This opportunity is also in line with the servant leadership model and the stakeholder approach as we work together with the board of directors, who are also here present, the chief executive officer and the management team, the workers committee team, for us to be able to find solutions to some of the challenges to ensure that we have a fully functional Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation as a national broadcaster, and at the same time for us to be able to utilize all these studios for us to communicate the Vision 2030 strategy, radio stations, and at the same time focus will be on transmedia in terms of ensuring that we move away from analog to digital. At the same time, there's need to realign, restructure, at the same time to recapitalize some of the institutions, and at the same time look at the other policies and focus also on amending some of the legislation that have ensured that some of the institutions are not performing optimally. Because the whole idea is that state enterprise is used to contribute plus 40% to the GDP, but currently some of the state-owned enterprises, even under our purview, are not performing in terms of the expectations of us as the shareholders, the government of Zimbabwe. So there is need for us to have a lot of meticulous analysis in terms of the finances. In my first week in office, I managed to get each and every presentation from each and every board of directors in terms of the current state of affairs, the history involved, the future business plans with respect to each and every entity and each and every strategic business unit. So armed with all that information, now we are taking the management by walking around, which is now the practical assessment of the state of affairs in each and every institution, for us then to be able to marry the theory and the current state of affairs, and for us to be able also to have a look at the business plans going forward, the futuristic business plans, because the media broadcasting have got a big role in terms of ensuring that all citizens in Zimbabwe are well informed of the developments that are taking place, of the challenges that are taking place. So the familiarization tool becomes very, very important. This is precisely why I went to each and every studio, each and every office, and also had an interaction with the chairman of the Workers' Committee, so that we get to understand their perspective in terms of shaping the national broadcaster, for us to be able to give the requisite service across the country. Convergence in terms of information publicity and broadcasting services. So there is need to marry ICT, state-owned enterprises and private sector, the national broadcaster as well as the other private sector players. At the same time, I've had an opportunity also yesterday to meet the private sector editors and chief executive officers and other directors for us to be able to chart the way forward, because of great importance is the role also of the private sector media for us to be able to communicate, to publicize, but in a two-way communication platform, so that the government exactly knows the feedback in terms of each and every program, each and every project that the government of Zimbabwe is implementing. So that's the fusion. The next meeting is perhaps a retreat. The public enterprises, executives and editors, at the same time the private sector editors and executives, for us to be able to work together, focusing primarily on nation building.